Have you ever stopped to think about how your day begins? Most of us wake up and, almost like an automatic reflex, immediately start thinking about our problems. These daily worries don't appear out of nowhere. They are connected to specific memories, which in turn take us back to situations, places, and people from our past. Sounds familiar? The brain, by nature, is like an old recorder, repeatedly playing the same tape, the same scenarios, the same emotions. Now, reflect with me. If your brain is a record of everything you've experienced, when you wake up thinking about your problems, you're already mentally returning to the past. And this has profound consequences. Every memory you access is tied to an emotion because it's the emotion that gives power to a lived experience. It's as if the brain says, "Oh, this is important. I'll store it with more intensity." But by revisiting these memories daily, you also relive the emotions associated with them. Sadness, anger, frustration, anxiety. How are you finding this? Exciting, isn't it? Before we continue, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I really want to help you live an even more abundant and prosperous life. Stay with me until the end, and let's embark on this journey together. Think about this. You recall something that bothered you yesterday. Today, when you wake up, you relive the same situation, feel the same anger. If this happens for 2 days in a row, you might just appear to be in a bad mood. But if this pattern continues for weeks, months, or years, you're no longer simply reliving a moment. You're making that emotion part of who you are. What was meant to be temporary becomes a trait of your personality. You become that angry person, that anxious person. This brings us to an important question. How can your thoughts and emotions shape your life? Behavioral science has already shown that what we think directly influences how we feel, and those feelings shape our actions. Our thoughts and emotions create a powerful cycle. The more you repeat a thought, the more automatic it becomes. And the more you feel the same emotion, the more it shapes your state of being. That's why we often feel stuck, as if life is a movie we've watched countless times. There's more. When you continuously repeat the same thoughts and emotions, you're essentially ensuring that the future will be just a copy of the past. This happens because the brain has something called neuroplasticity, the ability to form and strengthen connections between neurons based on repeated experiences. If you keep thinking and acting the same way, you're literally reinforcing the neural networks that support that behavior. This means that, without realizing it, you're building the same kind of life, even if you don't like it. Now, let's talk about routine. For many people, mornings are almost on autopilot. You wake up, grab your phone, check social media, read emails, or look at the news. Then, the same pattern follows. You get out of bed on the same side, grab the same cup of coffee, drive the same route to work, meet the same people, and feel the same emotions when dealing with them. At the end of the day, you return home, do the same things, go to bed, and repeat it all the next day. Does this sound familiar? This daily repetition is what creates your brain's programming. Here's a fascinating fact. By the age of 35, 95% of who we are is made up of unconscious patterns, automatic behaviors, emotional reactions, beliefs, and perceptions that operate like a computer program. This means only 5% of your mind is truly conscious and available to make different decisions. No wonder change feels so hard. It's like putting a beginner against an Olympic athlete. The conscious mind wants to change, but the subconscious, which is much stronger, resists. So, how can we break this cycle? How can we reprogram the mind and create a new life? The answer lies in going beyond the analytical mind, the part of the brain that separates the conscious mind from the subconscious. And this is where meditation comes in. Meditation is like a shortcut to access your mind's operating system. When you meditate, you slow down brain waves and enter a state where you can reprogram old patterns and create new ones. You might be thinking, but why meditate? I've already tried changing my life in other ways. Well, many people only start seeking change when they face crises, traumas, or difficult diagnoses. It's as if pain is the only motivator for transformation. But why wait? Meditation allows you to change in a state of inspiration rather than suffering. Here's something surprising. The body doesn't know the difference between a real experience and something vividly imagined. Neuroscience studies show that when you visualize something with detail and emotion, the brain reacts as if you're actually living it. That's why high-performance athletes use visualization techniques to train their minds as much as their bodies. You can use this same skill to create the future you want. Let's try a mental exercise. Close your eyes and imagine the kind of person you want to be. What would it feel like to wake up happy, confident, and full of energy? How would it feel to approach your work with enthusiasm and purpose? When you visualize this clearly, you are literally creating new neural connections in your brain. And if you repeat this every day, these connections strengthen. But here's the secret. Just imagining isn't enough. You need to feel it. Why is this important? Because thoughts are the language of the brain, but feelings are the language of the body. When you feel the emotion of a thought, like joy, gratitude, or love, you're sending chemical signals to the body. And this is what begins to transform your state of being. Think of it as connecting to Wi-Fi. When the brain and body are in sync, you start to download the reality you want to create. Of course, change isn't easy. The body, accustomed to years of old patterns, will resist. It will create distractions, like itches, random memories, or restlessness. This is normal. The body is trying to pull you back to the familiar. But if you persist, something magical happens. The body surrenders. And at that moment, you free yourself from the emotions that keep you tied to the past. And the best part? You don't have to wait years to notice results. In just 7 days, many people report significant changes. Over time, these new thoughts and emotions become natural. And before you know it, you'll be living the life you've always dreamed of. The key is consistent practice. Just like training a muscle, you need to repeat the process until it becomes automatic. So, how about starting now? Your future is waiting for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. In the next videos, our journey together continues.